What's up, guys? So here's some theories that I've been thinking about. So when we last saw our heroes in Avengers, half of them were snapped away, and we've seen a bunch of behind-the-scene clips of the Avengers in multiple scenes with things on their hands, and some people maybe allude to that possibly means time travel. I'm not sure where I heard this from as far as it goes, but I've heard time travel may not actually be in the movie simply because one of the largest markets in the world, China, has restrictions on what their movies can have in them, and I believe time travel and altering the past is one thing that it can't have. So I'm assuming they're going to do something like X-Men Days of Future Past in the way the X-Men has done offshoots kind of deal. So in my opinion, I think they're just hoping and aiming for an offshoot that hints at the one that Doctor Strange saw so that we can see all our heroes together in another universe. But the bottom line is, in order for an MCU universe to continue, it needs to have offshoots. I mean, I remember growing up, there was like Spider-Man 2099, and they just recently released a movie called Into the Spider-Verse, and they're really playing it up hard that you're going to see offshoots big time. In order for the MCU to continue, it just has to, because, Chris Evans can't inevitably, can't forever play Captain America, right? Anyways, so Endgame, people talk about the references to chess, and if you look at a chessboard, it's black and white. You've got white spaces next to black spaces, and they're totally different, totally opposite from each other, right? Where am I going with that? Each piece inhabits its own individual place, right? So we've got the captain here, right? If you notice, he's got a beard. This is from Infinity War. We all know his story so far of what he's gone through. But what do we see here? We see Cap without a beard. So I'm wondering if we've already seen an offshoot by the time this is actually happening in Avengers EndGame, that Cap here is literally crying because this happened, I'm guessing, before the events of Civil War. Somehow Natasha or Black Widow made it back in time or to an alternate reality and is talking to Cap, because we see Natasha in that scene also talking to him, telling him what exactly Thanos did. And this guy saw what Thanos did. He doesn't need an explanation. But this could be a captain before Civil War. And so Natasha is trying to explain what exactly happens in her timeline. And then we see Mr. Scott Lang. And do you remember the expression on Cap's face when he sees Scott Lang at the door? And Scott Lang is sitting there saying, "Hey, we met a couple years ago at the airport. Sure, you remember me, right?" He's so alluding to "you remember me" that the look on his face, in my opinion, is him saying, I don't remember him at all. I've never met this guy in my life, because that was the first time Cap met Ant-Man, was in Civil War. But if this is the Cap before Civil War, and this is an Ant-Man from the same timeline that Natasha's from, then this is another confirmation that they're trying to get Cap on board, that Civil War is never going to happen for this Cap. So I think that's what's going on. There's all these schisms going on, and people have talked about in the corner up here, I don't have it in this picture, but in the corner up here it says maybe 1983, which I've heard a good explanation about. The leaves on the ground maybe possibly alludes to a different earlier time period, and he's just somehow hanging out there. I don't get it. And the other option I thought of, In Search of, ISO 3. That's the other theory out there about that. Who's the third Avenger? I don't know. Maybe that's a rabbit trail. But the bottom line is, maybe Cap is in search of answers. I don't know how that could possibly relate. But anyways, I think I've got a pretty good theory here with whole Mr. Scott Lang, Cap 2, Cap 1, Cap 2, Cap 1, Cap 2, whatever you want to say, Natasha, and the Endgame. Anyways, there's just a couple of my theories. Real quick, guys. Tell me what you think. Post some more theories below.